Hello, my sweet summer children. I'm back with the juice to get you through the long and late. I can't even contain myself. So HBO Max decided to wake up today and choose violence. And I was over here screaming and hollering yes, at last. Finally, the official teaser for House of the Dragon dropped, and we are going to talk about it. I'm going to go through all the details, what everything means. I'm so excited. I know Game of Thrones fans everywhere are super excited. I saw the trailer on YouTube was almost at 2 million views in 4 hours. That's crazy. So I found some shit in the trailer that had me so hyped for this series, House Stark banner was in the trailer, but let me collect myself and give y'all thoughtful analysis. So let's get into the juice. So for those of you that don't know, the Game of Thrones prequel is House of the Dragon, and House of the Dragon is set to come out next year, and House of the Dragon will take place about 200 years before Game of Thrones. And House of the Dragon will be covering the events that led up to the Targaryen Civil War and the Targaryen Civil War itself, known as the Dance of Dragons. So one of the biggest misconceptions about the Dance of Dragons is that all you'll see in this show is Targaryens, and this is a Targaryen show. This is not. There are so many houses that were involved in the Dance of Dragons. It's so many intricate politics. It will very much feel like the early seasons of Game of Thrones, but with a lot more dragons, about 18 dragons, all with different colors and breathing different color fires and different personalities and all that shit, per George R.R. Martin. So as a book fan, deep down in my heart and soul, I'm a book fan. Y'all know how I rock with this shit. You know how I rock with the Song of Ice and Fire and House of the Dragon and just this Westeros universe in general. This trailer to me really set the bar high as fuck. I feel like they're doing a very good job, and I can just tell that Ryan Condal is a book fan. I can tell. Look at the Iron Throne. Look at the Iron Throne. It's way more book accurate than the throne we've seen in Game of Thrones. The Iron Thrones in the books is ugly. It's tall as fuck. It has swords everywhere. It's huge. It's a monstrosity. It's a metaphor for a very uncomfortable seat because, an iron throne, a king's seat should be uncomfortable. And I love that they lined the sides of the stairs with the swords of Aegon's enemies because that's how it was. It was this big, huge throne with swords going up the sides, swords everywhere with stairs on it. It was just a monstrosity. We also got our first look at the sword Blackfire. It is in the hands of King Viserys. The sword Blackfire is one of the 2 ancestral Valyrian steel swords of House Targaryen. It is the sword that Aegon II will take to try to solidify his place as king. He who holds Blackfire holds the kingdom. But not really, because the whole great bastard branch of House Targaryen named themselves after this sword, and they didn't hold shit. If you ask me, that sword has been cursed ever since Aegon II tried to legitimize his reign with it. But that's a theory for another day. So the trailer opens up with Daemon Targaryen, Zaddy, speaking, and he says, "Gods, kings, fire, and blood." And listen, the Targaryens think not only themselves to be gods, but their dragons are also like gods. Balerion, Meraxes, Syrax, Vhagar, these dragons are all named after old Valyrian gods. But when it says gods, you can see it looks to be Balerion the Black Dread's Vigil. I don't know. Maybe that is too early because King Viserys is the rider of Balerion the Black Dread, but Balerion dies pretty early, in Viserys' life, and Viserys never claims another dragon. So Balerion is the last dragon that came with the Targaryens from Valyria. He's an ancient dragon, the biggest dragon of House Targaryen. And the power of House Targaryen actually, in my opinion, declined after his death. I have a theory on this. So I need to make a video on it, actually. So real quick, I have a whole video on Old Valyria. I have a playlist all about the characters that you will be seeing in the House of the Dragon, the in-depth history and lore, and I'll link it all below in case you're interested. Also, if you want to just read the story, you could just read Fire and Blood. I'll leave a link to that below. If you buy it through that link, I get some coins, okay? So when I first seen Daemon with the torch, I thought he might be in that cave that Jon and Dany were in on Dragonstone, because it kind of looked like that. But the footsteps made me think it's either Dragonstone or somewhere in the Red Keep, maybe the dungeons of the Red Keep, like where Arya was. Like maybe he's meeting someone there in secret, because that cave had a sandy floor that Jon and Dany were in, and it wouldn't be like all click clacking and shit like that. We also see Rhaenyra and Daemon on what looks to be Driftmark, and I think this is the night that Laena Velaryon dies, and I'll get into that in a second. We also get a shot of Sir Otto Hightower, Hand of the King, spineless bitch that he is. Just kidding. I mean, not really, just kidding. I'm not kidding. I don't like him. Anyway, Sir Otto Hightower is the father of Queen Alicent Hightower, wife of King Viserys. His grandsons are usurpers. And we see Queen Alicent in the trailer later with a very interesting blade, and we're going to talk about that shit too. So we also see a very young Rhaenyra looking at the Iron Throne. Rhaenyra is her father, King Viserys' rightful heir. We also get some tourney shots, and I think we may be looking at more than one tourney. But can we just take a minute to admire this Targaryen armor? Because it's all that. Like, it's all that. The dragon-winged helm, the scaly-looking armor, I'm fully aroused. But this is surely Daemon Targaryen, so this sword is surely Dark Sister. Dark Sister is the second Valyrian steel sword of House Targaryen, and it was once carried by Visenya Targaryen. And Blackfire, if I didn't say it, was Aegon the Conqueror's sword. But if you freeze this frame, whoever Daemon is fighting is using a Morning Star. And we know that that means it's likely Christian Cole. So this could be Maidenpool. So I don't really like Christian Cole. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that guy. Christian Cole was once Rhaenyra's sworn shield. He rises to be Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, and he turns his cloak and becomes loyal to the Greens. That's a very watered down version, but watch my Rhaenyra video and you'll get the full tea. So we then get a shot of big zaddy Corlys Velaryon, and he looks amazing. If you say that House Velaryon doesn't look amazing, like, you're just fucking hating at this point. Like, let's be honest here. They are walking into this feast looking regal as fuck. In this shot, we have Corlys Velaryon, his wife Rhaenys Targaryen, their son Laenor, and their daughter Laena. So Corlys Velaryon is Lord of the Tides, the Admiral of Admirals, the motherfucking sea snake right hand man to Daemon Targaryen, kind of. Fun fact, his wife, Rhaenys, actually should have been queen over Viserys. They call Rhaenys the queen that never was, but the Great Council of 101 chose the male over the female, even though it was her birthright. But, vagina. Anyway, Laena, like I was talking about, Laena becomes Daemon's wife and has children with Daemon, but she does die. And I feel like this whole series is going to boil down to Laena's death and Rhaenyra and Daemon coming together and that snowball effect just taking hold. Another fun fact, Rhaenys, Laena, and Laenor all ride dragons. So there's going to be tons of dragons going on. And Laena actually rides Vhagar. Whoo, child. But speaking of the Great Council of 101, I'm going to do a whole video on that. But the seeds that were sown in the Great Council is the foundation that the Greens used to try to usurp the throne. So I have a whole entire video on Corlys Velaryon in depth, Daemon too, and Rhaenyra and Queen Alicent. Like, I'll link them all below. It looks like they're at a feast in the throne room. Rhaenyra is sitting next to her father. We also get our first glimpse at Lady Misery, Mysaria, the White Worm. She is from Lys. She is Daemon Targaryen's consort, but she's also a witch. I'm going to be doing a video about her as well. Well, not just about her, but about all the witches of Westeros. Like, I started to do it, talking about how the Dance of Dragons was one of the times where it was like the height of magic in Westeros. And then I got like all like, then I spiraled out of control talking about the Witch Queen of Harrenhal, which I'm doing a whole video on her and Aemon One Eye. Girl, I've been working. But Lady Misery is like a Varys / Melisandre character. If Daemon was Stannis, Lady Misery would be like Melisandre. But then Lady Misery starts working with Rhaenyra, like the Mistress of Whispers. So we then see Queen Alicent, and she looks disheveled, fast-paced walking with none other than a cat's ball dagger. The cat's ball dagger from Game of Thrones. It was very reminiscent of Catelyn Stark. I even called her Catelyn Jr. on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you should, by the way. So my thoughts, like, when I seen this is like, what is she doing? The only thing that came to mind, like, right off the bat with her just, like, looking how she looked and having that dagger was, oh my God, blood and cheese. However, I kind of think it's too early to be blood and cheese. But then I was like, I could totally see Daemon arming blood and cheese with a Valyrian dagger on like some real OG gangster shit, like on some Olenna Tyrell shit, like kill the Spawn with this blade, because I want them to know it was me. But I asked Twitter. So I asked Twitter, and Chloe, shout out to Chloe from Girls Gone Canon, she made a good point. This is likely the scene where the Greens form the council and kill Lord Beesbury. Like this is probably right after Viserys' death. The Greens form this secret council and like plot to take over the throne, and they kill anyone that opposes them or imprison them. I hate Christian Cole. I hate him. We also see like attorney and their attorney banners. We can see House Tarly. We also can see House Bolton banners and House Stark. I know a lot of people were like, but what about the Lannisters? But what about the Starks? Like, I feel you on that. But the Lannisters and the Starks both play a huge role in the dance. Like, Craig Stark, who I did a whole video on, will be pivotal in the dance. The North fucking remembers. The Starks will be there and as main characters. Also, the Lannisters will be there as well as main characters. House Lannister served the Greens. So it's not just the Targaryen show. Everybody relax. Not just calm down. Cool your tits. We also have a scene with Laenor fighting someone. Like, are we gonna see Laenor's death? Like, I don't think so. Not in season 1. And this doesn't look like a play fight. I'm gonna just say that whoever he's fighting them for real, but it looks like he's fighting them in their castle or in his castle. So the last scene, we have Rhaenyra walking towards the throne and someone is sitting on it. It could be her father, but it looks like another woman. And I think this could even be a dream sequence. It could be a dream that she's having because it looks like her to me. It looks like her looking at herself on the Iron Throne. And it's interesting because the quote that is over top of this scene is this: "Dreams didn't make us kings. Dragons did." So I don't know. I think she's having a dream. I think we might get like some prophetic dreams in the series. I love it. But anyway, what did you guys think of the trailer? I am so excited. I'm so hyped. Please let me know anything I missed below because I want to know. I want to see. I'm so excited. I want to talk. Let's go. Anyway, so I will be doing a lot more House of the Dragon content. Let me know below what you want to see from me when it comes to House of the Dragon. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone that supports me on Patreon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and join the Sweet Summer family. Okay, my sweet summer children, have a good day.